action.
Welcome back, viewers, from a short break. It has been such a wonderful time. I could not stop the women of God. They still had a lot and lot and lot and lot, lots and lots of things to explain. They are so much hungry. They want to help your marriage out. They want to see you succeed in this journey called marriage. So I have them back. But before I get back to the women of God, I just want to remind you, dear viewers, that we're here at Shine Resort Hotel in Reza, a place to be. It is a very beautiful place. You have conferences, workshops. They have very wonderful conference rooms, and they have very good rooms, well organized, looking so fabulous. They have delicious meals. They have a wonderful swimming pool for both adults and babies. Kindly come and support them. They are Christians. They are good. They can handle you in the best way. Customer care is at its peak. So come and be served here at Shine Resort Reza on Entebbe Road, Chigo. Yeah, the numbers are running down on your screen. Please pick a number and call them. Yeah, we are back. Women of God.
Yes. It's good
I can see you burning with finances. We are still talking about money. Why do you hide that money? That chikazi money, the women needs money. We are yet to learn more.
Yes.
Yeah. So finances are one of the factors that have led to the breaking of so many marriages.
Yes. Definitely. That's very true. That's very true.
How are we gonna go? How are we going to handle this?
I think everything, like we have said earlier on, we just have to be intentional. If I want my marriage to succeed, I just have to. That's why I said it start with me. For my husband to trust me, before I demand trust from him, let me be the one to be trusted. So what I do as a wise woman, bring the man on table.
Yes.
And show it, honey, this is what we have worked, this is what we have achieved, this is what we have earned. So what do you think? What can we plan? What can we do? Like I said, it is planning together, thinking together for the sake of our family. So I bring it on the table before him. And sometimes the best of communicating is leading by example. Before you demand it with words, show it yourself.
Yes.
I have brought on the table, and this is the
Yes.
money. The month that has come, this is what I've received, this is my salary. So what can we do? What were you thinking? And then if he has wisdom, you will know that this is the right way to go. So it starts with me. But in most cases, we want to demand it before I said, where is your money? Where is your money? But have you brought yours as well? Where is yours? So lead by example. If you are interested in your marriage, and this is to both husband and wife,
Yes.
try it before you know, sometimes you have this biased mindset because of where we come from. No, if you show a woman money, she'll spend all of it. But have you tried your wife? Leave other women. Talk about your wife, because you have not married the whole world.
Yes.
You have married your wife.
Yes.
Oh, men, you can never show them money. First, your husband. It's not all the men. You are not married to the whole world. Try it before you have the you judge. Try it, because sometimes we have the biased mindset, and we judge everything because of the mindset. Yet
Yes,
maybe
the
you're married to a
attitudes,
different
the
person.
norms.
So what is your attitude towards your marriage? Have a positive attitude towards your marriage.
Yes, Pastor. And I wanted to add, I think I agree with Pastor on the money issue. And I think that maybe a viewer would say that sometimes, yes, I want to show this money, but maybe in the past, someone misused it, or there have been
Yes,
those
yes.
experiences. So you can gauge between the two of you who is the stronger person, because you know your capacities. Then that person will have maybe like more responsibility to keep that money or to take on that money. But I want to share the issue of openness between couples. There's no need to hide money, by the way. Yes.
I was thinking about that when you talked about
Yes.
who was keeping money because the husband was sick.
He will die. And she doesn't know what will happen, and she could not bring out anything. I think that it's not only women doing it, men also do it.
Yes, yes, that's
And
true.
I think it's very important for us to understand. We started by saying, Pastor talked about teamwork. Who is on your team? This is your partner. Yes, this is your wife, this is your husband.
Yes.
So when you all go out to work, as a family, what have you made in a month? What are you making in a year? What do you want to achieve?
Exactly.
You want to buy land this year? Both of you are going to contribute to that.
And you are beneficiaries of that
Yes, and
land.
you're both beneficiaries.
Yes, yeah.
I have seen even some couples, you know. They have friends who are giving them the ideas.
The ideas,
don't
yeah.
show the money, but when you come, woman, for you, go and buy this, go and do this, go and do
you
it.
know, as a
and
man,
the
you do
partner
things
has
yourself,
no idea. His
yeah.
wife does anything. And these people, yes, the people are advising them. Yes, yes. One person was advising the couple, but they duped them. They took the property.
You see?
You know, through conniving, because they knew the weakness. But they kept saying, don't share it, don't share it. And at the end of the day, the family is in the middle.
Because I don't
know?
think a woman whom is your wife, you
Yes.
have married this woman, and
Yes.
you have children together, can plan to steal from you. Of course, they are
Yes.
there.
Yes.
There are minor cases. We cannot say
Yes.
completely they are not there.
Yes.
But we cannot allow the minor cases to
Yes.
kill the beauty of the marriage and
I
the
agree
family.
with you. I agree
And
with
we
you.
bring the third parties. There are people who bring their mothers. If you marry mommy's boy, you are gone, because whatever is going to do is to ask mommy.
Shall we spend?
Mommy, to the point that they are going to ask mommy, can I take her to bed? I'm telling you, because that is mommy's boy.
Yes.
Everything, mommy. So mommy is the one to plan for your finances.
No.
So you can imagine that person who is married now to such a man who is mommy's boy, a man who cannot take any decision by
And
himself.
you know, Pastor, you mentioned about teamwork. God blesses teamwork.
Yes.
And you said earlier the scripture, how can two walk
Together
together
unless they agree?
There are couples you're watching us, you're delaying yourselves.
Yes.
Because you are not walking in unity. Unity is not just holding hands.
Yes.
It means that your resources are
It's
known.
having one
you
heart.
are open. I mean, if you can be with someone in the same bed, yes,
Sure,
this
no.
is money. This
Yes.
is paper. You use it. Why don't you?
I said
Why don't
last
you
time
show
on
the
the show,
money?
why
You
do
know,
you
be
allow
open.
money to separate what God has joined?
Yeah, Pastor has told us, Bishop knows what she's getting, she puts on her. I do that every month as well. We know the income. I know what I'm bringing and what my husband brings. This is what we have. What are we doing? Are
Exactly.
we sowing
And you
this?
plan.
Are we going to do this? We are taking off the tithe.
Yes.
We know we should be faithful tithers, because
Yes.
that's also an issue
Yeah.
that sometimes it serves couples.
Yes.
Oh, why are we giving all this money, you
Yes,
know?
yes.
But if you know the blessing that comes with
With the
giving,
tithe, yes.
then you'll see God
And
will
that's
multiply
what,
you
Pastor,
and you'll
now
be
it
faster.
matters who you marry.
Yes,
That's why
yes.
this actually works so much to the singles who is
Yes,
watching.
yes.
If you are not married, be careful who you marry.
Yes.
Because if you
For
marry
you
a
believe in
non-believer,
tithing, for him he doesn't.
when you comes for tithe and he does not believe in tithe, so you are busy donating money to church.
Yes.
Why do you do that? But because you
Yes.
married a wrong person.
Yes.
So coming back to being a teamwork, teamwork is not only putting chitenje that matches.
No.
Matching the heart.
Yes.
Is your heart matching? Are you speaking one language? We can match the dresses. I love to do it with my husband. But make sure before you match the clothes, your
Yes.
heart are matching.
matching,
You are moving
yes,
together. And you are
yes.
both
You're
on this
bonding.
together. You are bonding. So it starts the two of you to plan for this.
And
It starts
Pastor,
with
do you know, if you're
and then the two
open
of you.
with each other, if you're open about everything, you will even find that it will be hard to be unfaithful. It will
Definitely.
not be possible, because you will share with your friend. This is your best friend. And you say, but this person was saying this.
And-
you
and
know,
when you
and
are
they will,
one-
they will be advising
Exactly.
you.
And when
Yes.
you are one and open,
Yes.
and you love this person, you feel bad for
Yes.
anything bad to happen to your
Yes,
spouse.
Yes.
If my husband's problems, my problems.
Yes.
My husband's challenges
I
are my
agree with
challenges.
you.
That means you are one.
Yes.
I have seen couples where one is in problems and one
Yes.
is rejoicing.
Yes.
Those are his problems. He
Or they are
always
not
puts
even-
himself in
Or
problems.
they are not doing anything
Anything
about,
about
like,
it.
that
They are
person.
not- they
or
don't
maybe
care.
they are not even covering them.
Yes.
Like maybe you're in the public and someone says, "Oh, I don't think she's that good," and you're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, that
the-
lady has issues." Why
and
would
she's
you?
your wife.
And the same thing
To me,
happens for men and
I
women.
interpret it, you are undressing yourself.
Yes.
Because the Bible said two shall become one.
The same goes for wives. When you're
Yes.
struggling with your husband,
Yeah.
you cannot tell the whole world. There are people who are not keeping quiet,
Uh-huh.
and then oh, you know what happened last night?
Uh-huh.
You know, and this
Everything,
person is not.
everything,
So
yes.
you both work, and the world knows your problems, knows when you get up, knows when you fight, knows.
Actually, if you
know,
talk
it's
like
not
that,
okay.
you are talking about yourself.
Yes.
Because
yes.
the Bible said two shall become one.
Yes.
I don't see how this body can be separated unless death comes, unless blood comes. How do you separate this body which is one?
Yes.
That is has
The two.
definitely.
And Jesus said, "What God has joined together,
no
let
man,
no man
should
put
put asunder.
asunder."
I also want to add no
Yes.
money
No money.
should put asunder.
Yes, Pastor. No money. What God has joined together.
No money,
Let
no
money-
property,
Yes.
no mother no father,
Yes,
no
no
friend,
relative.
no relative,
Should put
no
apart.
children,
No
should
sheep.
put apart. This business of bringing a child in the bed and you want to put the baby as in the between, in the middle, to show the man that you will not
Pastor,
touch me.
no sheep should put asunder.
No sheep, no sheep, yes. No sheep should put us. No time. No
No
time.
child should put asunder.
Should put
Yeah,
us
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
But I wanted to talk about this issue also of women who
Yes.
are trying to use children as a weapon to fight.
Yes.
And deny the man the conjugal rights. Denying a man the conjugal rights has also brought problems.
Yes.
You can't deny somebody conjugal rights for 6 months and you expect that marriage to stand.
It will not.
And what you do is to bring the baby in the middle. So when the man tries to touch, he's touching the poo.
And using God, you know. I think both parties sometimes do it, Pastor. You know, you're born again. You know, what will you do?
Exactly.
Like, okay,
Oh,
we are born
yes,
again.
yes.
You know, because I mean, faith
Talk
should not
about
be
it.
used as a tool to
Yeah.
abuse people. You know,
Yeah.
you are born again. What would you
Actually,
do?
that one, that's not faith.
Yes.
Because God cannot promote that.
Yes, yes.
God didn't bring a husband and a wife together to separate them. God has brought you together to be one
These
and
are
raise a
immature
family.
believers
Uh-huh.
who like to make
Who
reference
go in
to such
fast for 40
statements.
days
Yes,
and
yes,
40 nights.
Yes.
And say,
Instead
I'm
of
fasting.
doing the word,
Uh-huh.
you see, I think in this generation we are suffering with Christians who don't want to do the
Who
word.
are ignorant of the word
Yes.
of God.
Just do the word. What does the word tell you to do? You see, don't give room to the enemy. Do your role. Do your part. You know, it's
And
very
when
important.
you go to fast, agree
Yes,
with
yes.
your spouse. That's what the Bible says.
You can't pray
Talk
your marriage.
about it.
Pastor, I was telling someone, I was counseling, that you can't pray your marriage. You need to
can't.
work your
You
marriage.
work your
Work
marriage.
it out.
As
You know,
much
because
as we
many
pray for our
people,
marriages,
yes, as much
yeah,
as we
yeah.
pray, many people, I'm sorry to say, they will come in counseling, oh, let my husband change. Let my wife change. Oh,
Have
I'm
you
dying.
changed
Yes.
yourself?
What are you doing?
Yourself,
You know,
yes.
some
for the marriage
prayers
to
are not
work.
even supposed to be prayed. Do
No,
your
we have
role,
done.
do the
We have
part.
prayed for nothing.
Yes,
To be honest with you, there are
yes.
things we have wasted our time in prayer because you just need to use common sense.
Yes.
You are a married woman.
Yes.
What makes you to bring
Tidy
a
up
baby
your
in the
home.
middle?
Yes.
And you bring a baby to sleep with you, the three of you in the bed, knowing that the man at the end of the day you will need something from
Yeah.
you, and you bring the baby as an
And
excuse
you'll also need it from him.
as well. And now you put this baby as an excuse. You know, baby wants me. What? Knowing what you are doing in your heart, and
Yes,
you say you are
it's
born
not
again.
okay. And I think, Pastor, we're talking earlier about women being emotional. Because sometimes maybe women talk about things for wives and she thinks the husband's not understanding or
Yes.
listening. And then she'll say, okay, I will do something, you know. Then you go an extra mile to do that. But those are not wise steps to take.
That's true.
And I think it's very important to know what kind of friends you have. Because some of the times the friends you have, they will say, oh, you do it. You show him, you know.
That's, I have
but
ever
that person
preached-
is not
yeah.
in your marriage.
I've
Yeah,
ever preached
yeah.
a message that says it matters who is in your ship.
Yes.
Ship means friendship. So you can't bring someone who is not believing in marriage to be your friend and you are in marriage. Someone who does not believe in marriage, does not believe in faithfulness, and is your friend.
Yes.
So what do you expect that friend to tell you when you run to her when you have challenges? Definitely will tell you, you cannot be faithful to one
Yeah, to
person.
marriage. Oh,
There are
yes.
also other friends who are not like necessarily having negative attitudes towards marriage,
Yes.
but who has a negative attitude
Towards,
their
particularly to your
partner.
husband. Your
Yes.
partner.
Yes.
or particularly your wife.
Your wife,
Why do
yes.
you have to choose that person for a friend?
Yes.
And even give
And
him
keep
that
them.
tone, of,
To speak.
advising, to
Yeah.
speak into your
Yeah.
marriage.
Yeah.
The person has already told you they don't like your wife.
So
Yes.
definitely whatever they are going to give is biased.
It's negative.
It's negative and biased. So the advice, whatever they'll bring is biased. So we come again to communication in marriage. Communication is paramount.
Yes.
Very important in
Very,
marriage.
yes.
But you find people don't communicate. There's that as people are running marriages in assumptions. I married my wife, she knows I love her. And that is it. And a woman says, my husband is not, he does not tell me he loves me. I don't know whether this man
Yes.
still loves me. He said, but I told her I love her. I think she knows. That's why she's here. But have you told? You know, for us, For us women, remember you want this woman with words.
Yes.
So it is the words
You
that
have
will
to keep
continue
wowing
keeping. So
her.
you should continue communicating. So communication is very important in marriage. Are you coming home late? Communicate.
Yes, it's not control.
It's not control.
It's not saying, oh,
it's
why are,
being
you why are you being
responsible.
on him all the time? No, it's being responsible.
Yes.
And I think we talked about accountability.
That's right.
You have to be accountable because
Yes.
it's a marriage. It's not just about you.
Your
God is
family
involved,
knows
your
you are with
family-
me.
Yes.
What if you get lost, uncle?
Yes.
You get lost and the people, they will come to me and ask me, where is he?
Yes.
You're the first person to be
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely.
It's also
Because-
part of loving somebody.
Yes,
It
where is
shows
our
you
son?
love the
Where is our
person.
daughter?
Yes.
So communication, should you go, there are people who go take a flight, who has gone communicated?
Pastor, communication is very important, even
Very.
on our jobs.
Yes.
Like you cannot go on leave, for example, and you just disappear.
Actually,
you have
for
to
me, you
give
do
note-
that in
yes.
work with me, you have, that is,
Yes,
you
it
have
is wrong.
absconded.
You have you have
Yes.
to give notice and say from this date up to this date I'm
Yes,
gonna
I'm
be
sitting
off.
for leave,
And
yes.
if you're someone who doesn't communicate what you're doing, you're seen as, are you really ready for this role?
By the way, there are people who
So,
don't communicate.
even in marriage, maybe if you have a weakness. Yeah, there are people who are not good at calling or sending message. You can learn it. Let's not give excuses. You know me, I'm not good at communicating. I don't say anything. But you want your marriage to work.
to work. Should
So
you
you have to learn it.
Yes.
Make it a habit.
It is interpreted as disrespect.
Yes.
Why would you be away without my notice?
Exactly.
If I'm near a while.
Yes.
I'm gonna cook food for you. I'm gonna
Yes.
keep the
The
door open
children
for
will
you.
also ask
I'm
where
gonna
you
wait
are.
for you. The children are going to ask me,
Yes.
Mommy, where is Daddy? I don't have no answer.
And if anything happens to you, she's the next of kin.
Exactly.
She's going to be asked.
And there are people.
Or he will be asked.
If you just come up like you don't have answers, they can even arrest
And also
you.
communication comes to the point, how do you handle your
Yes.
how do you handle
Yes, you're
issues in
right.
marriages? How do you handle issues in marriage? Communication also, how do you handle issues? There are people who say, I'm offended, I'll never say anything, I'll just keep quiet. Actions. And the women have songs, and in that song they are communicating. This is, it's a big one,
This
it has
mountain shall
communicated. No. And these who are born again, they can speak in tongues, I'm telling you. But
Because
she's
they don't want to
communicating.
quarrel.
And the man is like, so what is going on? So how do you think that couples
And
should learn to
Pastor,
sit
and
down
communicating,
and talk?
You should ensure that when you communicate, you are understood.
Thank you. That's
Because
communication.
yes,
yeah.
because many times people say, "Me, I'm talking," but the woman saying I'm talking is not listening. So the feeling is what shows that you're listening.
Uh-huh.
I'm communicating is two-way.
Yeah, it's two
it
ways.
means I am understood.
The receiver and the
Yes.
one who gives the message, both of you must
So,
understand.
and you make up your mind that you resolve conflict very fast.
yes, yes.
One thing that has also helped me in my marriage, we talk about things. I'm
Yeah,
like, honey, when you do
very
this, I
healthy.
don't like it. Just no, I don't like it.
So you don't hear.
Yes, you don't hear them. I'm like, on my wedding, they give this one, I don't like it. Really that, I wouldn't want that,
And
so
let me
it's very important.
Let me
Then
supplement
there
on
will
what
be no
she's saying. You
offense.
see this glass?
Yes.
It has water. What happens if I keep on filling the water?
It will spill.
It will spill.
That's what happens to your heart. The more you don't share things and you keep them,
Yes,
you keep
they
them, you
burst.
keep them. Time comes when you can't take it anymore. Have you not heard people say, I can't take it anymore? Because why? Conflicts have been happening, but they don't resolve them.
Or they keep quiet.
They just keep
or
quiet.
they are not listened
And
to.
they are not
Yes.
listened to, and they are not communicating.
This is when we have instances where you look at someone and he has acted so weirdly that out of a very
Frustration.
Small thing that if we had just talked about it,
But because it was just as many as illustrated,
Yes.
having a filled up
so many issues already.
How can we react?
Do you know people separate just because of toothpaste?
Yes.
Just the use of toothpaste, people
Yes,
separate.
yes.
But imagine if we had sat down and we talk about it.
Yes.
So I don't like the way you do the toothpaste.
Yes.
For me, the way I know, let's use it from down here. And sometimes couples should learn to let go certain things. You know, there are
Yes.
things people have made as issues, and yet
Yes.
they are not issues.
They are not.
I have learned over the issues of the years that there are certain things that I was taking as issues. Yet to my husband, when he talked to me, it's like he's waking up from the sleep. He's like, I didn't know it annoyed you, really? That thing annoyed you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about it, and it's
Yes.
already resolved. But imagine you
Yes.
keep it, and you are hanging on it, and you are not talking, and you are this singing of women in the house, in the kitchen. Oh,
Women
and
don't sing. Don't
And
sing.
in
Talk
all
about
that,
it.
you know that, you know who suffers the victim? Are the
You.
children also.
Yes.
Children that can be slapped in the house for nothing. The anger is from the dad. What have I done? Because you have so much in you, you don't want to talk about it, you don't
And
want to
Pastor,
resolve
what I wanted
it.
to add on communication as well, there is also non-verbal communication.
Uh-huh.
And I want to request husbands who are listening to us. I'm not saying this because I'm a woman. I'm saying I'm a woman, I know. But,
Yeah.
you know.
But because you are a pastor,
yes,
you deal with
I know.
people.
Like, I
yes.
wanted to say that, please try to listen to your wives. Some of the time, women may seem dramatic, you know. You may come back and say, honey, what's wrong? Nothing. But you can see from the non-verbal.
And that nothing, she's meaning
Yes,
something.
you can really see something is wrong. So instead of saying, what's wrong with you? You don't want to be before. No, give her time. Just love her.
And you know that when
Just
she's
love
saying
her.
nothing, she just
Yes.
wants you to kiss her.
Yes, just
But to
tell
be
her.
honest with
Yeah,
you,
maybe
kiss her and see
tell
what
her,
she'll
you
do.
know what, honey?
A woman will tell you, I'm
Something-
going. She's not
yes,
going.
Yes. So like,
She wants to know, do you
life is
care?
bothering
Will
me.
you bring me back? It's
Yes.
foolishness to say, I'm leaving. Say, please.
so Pastor, they also
when
need
you
to
want your
take
marriage,
note.
you will come back.
Yes.
Definitely a person who was not going
Yeah.
will pack bags and go.
Yes.
But she's saying, I am going. She's trying to say, what are you saying?
Yes. She's trying to say, do something
I want an
about
attention
it.
from you. There's something I want to communicate. So like we said that people, women and husband, we are all wired differently. And we need to understand this, that the communication of women, sometimes they are non-verbal, like she's saying, sometimes they are verbal. But you as a husband, be able to interpret. When
Have
my
the
wife say
wisdom.
this, have the wisdom.
Yes.
When my wife say I don't want, she's actually saying I want.
And when you see that, when you know each other,
Yeah.
like, do you know when someone is your lover, you know when they are put off?
Definitely.
You know when your
Oh,
husband
yeah.
is put off, you're like,
Yeah.
I know he doesn't like this.
Yes, yes.
And even husbands, you can know your wife. My husband was like,
Exactly.
he will even tell like my friends or even people in the church, my mommy doesn't like that. Did she
Yes,
say she's going to do? I
Yes,
know she's
yes,
not
yes,
that kind
yes,
of person. So it is very important, know your partner.
Yeah.
Before it becomes a big conflict,
Exactly.
approach them and say, baby, what is wrong today?
Exactly.
Is this something I said?
Uh-huh.
You know, let it start with
Exactly.
you. Is it something I did? Because for
And
women,
always be
it
ready
might
to
be
take
how you say it,
blame. Yeah.
how you did it, the people you hugged, the what, all those things matter. You know?
To women, it matters. And it all
Yes,
points to her.
yes. It
And to her, it
matters.
all points to her, and to her,
Yes.
it's a communication.
Yes.
Especially as we're married to
Yeah.
pastors, you know, a small thing, she's already pointing to her. So it
Yes.
is wisdom for you as a husband. Find a hand. I love it so much. My husband always asks, "Are you okay?
Yes.
Is everything okay? Are you
Yes.
fine? Come, let's talk." Because he knows me. He knows me, and I know him. I'm able to tell
Yes.
Bishop is not okay.
And the
We might be
timing.
so many people, but just say, look,
Yes.
we can look at each other and we've
Yes,
already
of
communicated.
course.
And I'm okay, he's saying this, and I need to
And
sort
you
this
know,
out.
usually, and we joke about it, like me and my spouse, we joke like, I saw your look, and I'm like, this one, not a good time. And I want to encourage women as well. You
Yeah.
can grow into knowing the time to talk about conflict.
Oh, yes,
You know, you need
yes.
to seize the moment. Know when it is not okay. You know,
Exactly,
like
yeah.
Things are still hyper. Choose a time
When do we talk?
Yes, when do we talk?
When
And
do
say,
we
honey, I
talk,
think we need to talk about
There are
this.
moments when there are times when you bring out the right thing.
Yes.
At the wrong
At the
time.
wrong time, then
Wrong
it will be
time, yes,
misinterpreted as wrong. Yes.
And let me say this. I talked about conjugal rights, and we didn't talk much about
Yes.
it. But most women, they want to talk when that time.
Yes.
She thinks it is the right time now to talk.
Yes,
He
yes.
knows the husband is already high and ready and everything. He said, but the other time, eh? and
And the
even
man will just
bring a
go,
book.
you'll
Eh?
be put off.
Remember yesterday you
You'll be
didn't call
put
me.
off.
The other time, that sister who hugged you, eh? And like the man is like, really at this time? It
Why
can
don't
bring
we talk about
frustration
it in the
marriage,
morning?
Yeah. So you can you can look at the time. When do we talk about this? Because I don't think when you are married, your intention is to break this marriage. Your
Yes.
intention is for your marriage to work. So think about it. When do we talk about this? Do I really have to say it at this time? Somebody has lost a mother, and you are bringing. You didn't give me money last time. Did you really?
Yes.
Can you talk about that now? You didn't take children out. Somebody has lost a job, and you're busy talking. You didn't take children
You need to
out.
be wise.
You know, so
Choose
you need
your words. Choose the
marriage. You need
timing.
wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah. So communication is very important.
Very much.
Don't keep things and wait that
They
one
pile
day
up.
I'll tell him. By the time you want to say it, it
You
will
say
be
it
too much,
badly.
and
Yeah.
you say it badly. Remember, communication is not only when to say it, but how do you say it? The approach. How do you talk to your person? Do you show some respect to your spouse when you're talking to them? You know, there are people who always want to confront. Always to confront. Always. Why do you do this? When you're already saying why, it's like you're
It's already defensive. They will become defensive.
And you're already attacking. So if you want to ask something, let it always be a suggestion. If you want to say something, let it always say, I didn't understand. Do you think? Did you, you know, there's a way you bring your communication in a polite way. Do you mind? So if someone is able to relax and give you a proper answer. But whenever you come in an attackive way and in a way which is rude, someone just build a defensive mechanism. Okay, let me protect myself.
So whenever you want to tell, like, oh, what have I done this time?
This time, yes.
There will already be a barrier.
Yes. What is it now? What is it? What have I done again? You know, you hear what again, meaning it has ever happened. It's repeating.
Like talking before nagging
Exactly. Yes. So,
I think in this last minutes, woman of God, I would like to share with our audience something to do with forgiveness in marriage.
I think what I can say that, like I said earlier on, once you decide to come together, be intentional for this thing to work. And it doesn't mean that the journey is going to be smooth. Definitely there are going to be challenges. There are going to be potholes. There are going to be this. There are going to be this. There are going to be that. But marriage is for two people who have decided to come together and should be ready to forgive one another. Knowing that I did not marry a perfect person, neither am I perfect. If I can err, my spouse can err. So let's talk about our issues. Let's sit down and talk about them. And if my spouse says, I'm sorry, let me also be able to receive the sorry that my spouse has said. And let me not over-repeat it. If I said I'm sorry, if I need time, I can tell my spouse, I need some time. But I've understood what you have said, and let me pray about it. But in the back of your mind, this marriage must work. Must work. No matter what, this thing that we have started, it must work. We might collide, we might disagree, but at the end of the day, this has to work. So I have to forgive. And forgiveness is not only for the people who have wronged you. Forgiveness actually is for you who have been wronged.
Actually, we benefit
More.
from this.
Yes, because you are able to release from your heart. You are able to think again. You are able to start afresh. But when you don't forgive, there's a way to bring stress. And stress is the number one cause of cancer. And I need to say this to women. Women learn to forgive. Most women, they don't forgive. They say they are forgiven when they have not forgiven. They keep on bringing it back. That thing is eating you up, slowly by slowly. And it's a room for the enemy to minister, to do anything. And when you have not forgiven, the enemy starts to show you, you are having a wrong spouse. You are wrong person.
He's not doing this for you.
He's not doing this for you. And he starts showing you so many wrong things that can make you to take a wrong decision. I always, as I'm closing, therefore, before you show me what I do not have, show me what I have. So before you show me that this man is so bad, show me the good things that he has done. So before you say, I don't want to forgive, look at the good things that your spouse has done. Yes, the enemy has entered. Something wrong has happened. But how about the good things he has done before? Are you just going to forget them and just say, I don't want to know? I'm just focusing on the wrong thing. And normally it's the work of the enemy. He blindfold you and make you to focus
on one
the
incident of the offense.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pastor Cindy, for mentioning that. Forgiveness, I think, is really very vital in marriage. Because, I mean, just even out of marriage, we get offended, we offend other people. And with the Bible, God expects us to forgive.
That's right.
And I think if there's an institution that will try your ability to forgive, it is marriage.
That's right.
You have to make up your mind that you will forgive. And I think when you forgive, I think we know the famous story that if you don't forgive, it's like taking poison and expecting the other person to die. And this is your spouse. So many times, I think that when you hold, for me, if I'm not in one accord with my husband, if I'm not at peace with him, I feel my life is not moving.
That's true.
Like,
that's very
my
true.
walk with God is a mess. My relationship with that person is a mess because I feel like this person, we are not in sync. I have an issue with him. So I have to do what it takes to bring the reconciliation. So I think that we should have the same mindset. When God sees that you're willing to forgive, he will give you the grace. You know, he will give you the grace to forgive. We have seen people forgive things that are like, me forgive all that. You were a child of God at the end of the day. And God wants to use your marriage. God wants to use your life. He will give you the grace to forgive offense. Offenses will come, married people. Offenses will come.
It's not a bed of roses.
But don't walk out. Forgive. And divorce is not always the answer. There's no assurance that when you're divorced,
And
you will
you'll
be
not-
forgiving. You will have peace. I have met a friend in the past who divorced and they told me, I wish I hadn't. Because I know sometimes it's the only alternative. But what if it is not? You can forgive.
And also another
because
thing,
there's
when
no
you do
assurance.
that, there's no assurance you're going to meet the because there's no angel.
Yes.
What if the one you meet is the worst?
It will be worse,
than-
and then there's no assurance that you will forget your partner.
Exactly.
So why don't you choose forgiveness? Because if you choose to forgive, God will empower you, change the person, and also help you to give love now to do your ministry in the marriage. Because
But
when you have
also-
that, you can't.
People should not take advantage
Yes.
of others, knowing that it's a must to forgive.
Yes.
Then I'll do all what I want.
No.
I go outside,
Yes,
I mess
Pastor.
up my
Good
marriage,
point.
and I'm expecting everything just to work because I married a Christian. She talked about it where I say, moreover, what are you going to do? You are
I'm
born
a
again.
Christian,
And you starve somebody.
That is wrong.
Manipulation.
That
That's
is
not
manipulation.
right. That is not God. So whatever you do, God should be involved.
Yes.
So you can't play with somebody's mind,
And
play
Pastor,
somebody's
when you mentioned
emotions.
that, I remember even when you say sorry.
Yes.
Husbands. I'm sorry, I'm mentioning husbands and wives as well. Please, when you say sorry, let it be genuine.
Yes.
Because one time a lady told me, I don't know if my sorries, if his sorries, it means them. Because sorry does the same thing.
Same.
Sorry. So please, let your repentance. It's like even with our God,
God,
when we say sorry,
yeah.
he's expecting a bouncing turn.
Exactly.
You're changing. So please, let the stories be sincere.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mama Cindy, for your time.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the passion
Yes.
and the love to help.
For the
marriages out
inspiration.
there. Thank you so
Yes,
much for
she's
the
awesome.
inspirational talks we've had during this particular series of secrets behind any successful
Marriage.
Dear viewers, thank you so much
Marriage
for
is good.
watching. Marriage is key.
Marriage
it is
is
so
good.
broad. There is no way we can, squeeze it into this 1 hour and so, but we just want to tell you that you've been a very wonderful audience. Thank you for being there for us. Thank you for watching KTV. And at this time, before we close, I want to give the women of God just a few seconds to make one statement and maybe bye-bye to those lovely spouses you left at home before we go.
Okay, Pastor has given me the space. Yeah, thank you so much, Eve, and for sharing and having us here as well. I want to encourage you, married people, marriage colleagues, please fight for your marriage. Don't give up. Marriage is beautiful. Marriage is work. I want to send my regards to my husband, Pastor Charles Kaiwa. Thank you for being a loving husband to myself and a loving dad to our boys. We love you, we appreciate you. And I celebrate all the fathers out there who are standing in the families. God bless you abundantly.
Thank you so much, Mama.
Yeah.
I give glory to God. Thank you so much for having us.
You're
We're so
welcome.
grateful. Thank you, Pastor Florence, for joining.
you, Pastor.
She's my daughter, and I'm so proud of you.
Glory
Thank
be
you.
to
That was
God.
so powerful. I'm so proud of you. I want to thank God so much for this time that we have shared. I pray that if your marriage is going through some challenges, there will be healing and reconciliation and forgiveness. Please work out your marriage. Don't take it for granted and don't bring manipulation in the marriage. Just know that God is the author of families. So make sure whatever you do, God is involved. Pray, ask God to help you. God gives us grace. And I wish you the best in your marriage, and I pray that you reconcile, you work out your marriage for the glory of God. I want to greet my dear husband. Love you so much, sweetheart. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to share with the world what is in our hearts, especially about marriage. So thank you for being my number one supporter. I love you and God bless you.
Thank you so much, woman of God. It has been such a wonderful time. I don't want to take any more minutes because it is actually running late. I just want to say thank you so much, our dear viewers. And for this time, maybe let me say thank you so much, Mr. Sewali, for being such a darling. I am not around because of your support. You've mentored me, you've loved me. You're such a wonderful husband. Actually, you're the best thing that has ever happened to me. Thank you so much, dear viewers. Catch up next time. Program Life Connect, navigating life together.